Angel Group possessed simple variables in size and strength. More complex configurations were inevitable. As the era spread, these variations became increasingly extreme. David Yoon, for next processor, offered a life.
So, this was how Claire would die. She knew it would happen eventually. She was rubbish at jumping, and she moved slowly. She felt a little like her continued existence was breaking some kind of natural order. The crumbling pillar was a dramatic death, she supposed. Wait, what? Claire couldn't shake the feeling that she was not, in fact, dead. It was at that moment that Claire realised she had superpowers! She'd need a cape. There was no getting around that. You couldn't be a superhero without a cape. Claire didn't want confusion. If you saw a cape, that made matters clear. You knew what you were dealing with. Claire was all about communication. And, you know, floating in water, which was her superpower.
Just... you gotta love Claire. They got all four of them here.
All right. Fear not, my skinny friends, for I am Claire, and I will save you. Claire needed to come up with a superhero name as soon as possible. Claire was rubbish.
I can't get over the superhero Claire. I just can't. She also can jump pretty well out of water. Actually, more than look at this. Like about here out of. Hold on here. She just floats. She gets about here out of water. A little bit more out of land, but you know, not too much. Oh no, Thomas! Oh.
Claire arrived just in time, which was, of course, the perfect moment for superheroes to arrive.
Now can I switch off between Thomas and Claire? So Claire is a boat. A superhero boat. Or just superhero. I call her the superhero boat.
As the water began to rise, Claire vowed to save this little rectangle in as many restarts as it took.
Claire. I believe like this one is like one of these pathways is this thing.
If Thomas would make a good sidekick. Or was she more the lone Avenger type? She'd like that. The sole hero in a world of rectangles and conveniently placed pools of toxic water.
Conveniently placed. Hey, things have to go be convenient for a good story. So now John's jumping ability really does feel shown off here because no one can get up here, but John can.
The others told Claire that staircases were a bit of a fixture here. Claire wondered why the world made it so difficult.
I don't know. For a second there. Let's do this. So now John is kind of a stepping stool. And then John can jump over everything. John will be very useful. And heck, his jumping ability does kind of shown off. Just like a little mental note to make that John is as long, as tall as Claire. Don't know what exactly that. Either made that mental note, but that is a mental note you kind of should. It's kind of nice to keep in the back of your mind, because then if you ever like trying to make people. So then, therefore, Chris can jump on top of Claire because he couldn't jump on top of John. So he stays. And also, if you have someone riding you, you cannot jump. So. And also, that little bit when you actually, when someone falls into the water. Actually, Claire, because it's the only one who can actually jump. So that's when the person gets in water. So this is actually quite interesting. You need to put Claire over here first, and then have John jump back over. You can't just have Claire go first. Actually, no. Maybe.
Claire probably needed a nemesis. A villain who would show their true colours at the worst possible moment, hurting all she held dear. Chris was the most obvious choice. He seemed stroppy enough, and his jump was so pathetic that it conveniently avoided Claire's insecurities. Yes, Chris. Diabolical Chris. The fiendish Christopher.
I like how, like, at this point, it actually stops being, like, strategic, like, knowledge about the game, and more just about a storyline. And that's when it gets good. Chris made a jump. And also, Chris isn't highly liked. Go. Yeah. Hold on. There we go. Claire. Jump out of the way there. And yes, we need to get these two out. So, Christopher, jump up there. That's actually kind of problem with this game, is that it sometimes can get repetitive with the jumping. Yeah, yes, we know. To get someone up there, you need all three, and you need to kind of put them in a formation so Chris can jump here and there. But it's fun to none of us.
Wait, where had Chris gone? Was he off somewhere, plotting Claire's downfall? If Claire was honest, and she had to be because she was a superhero, this was a troubling turn of events. Still, there were reasonably sized bodies of water to cross.
Want to show off there that you can't. When I measured the last, I think 2.5, that if you fall into water, that little bit of you actually going under the water does knock out everyone else. So you can't. So Claire can't just walk across these. She has to stop. They have to get off. Claire has to go underneath. Then John and Thomas get back on. They can finally go all the way across. And here we go. Who's first? Claire! And then guys kind of go off. Oh no, hold on here. We need Thomas. Thomas was no longer, oh. Hold on. There we go, John. Back to only, are we still only 3? Still only on 3.
Moving platforms over water, eh? Claire's newly heightened senses told her that there were multiple paths across with various possible configurations of the little posse. They were doing really well. Claire hoped she could get them all across. John was fully aware he could do this alone. Thomas hoped he'd never have to.
Oh, that was interesting. But I like that line there. I was hoping they never had to. Yeah, and I like that also that line because a lot. By then you made a strategy up, like how you were actually going to do this. We're gonna have Claire. We're gonna have John. Wow, jeez, Claire, you keep being pushed around. Fine, just piggyback with Thomas. So Thomas can ride along. So Thomas will need help. Need help with one of those sections.
Claire was alone, which was odd, because she wasn't meant to be alone. She needed to be where there were rectangles to save. Being the only superhero in a given space kind of defeats the object. Spikes? That was new. Claire avoided them. She decided they were most likely her kryptonite. Not the rubbish red kryptonite either, the proper radioactive green stuff.
I believe that's what actually radioactive kryptonite is in real life. It's red. It's noble gas, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's noble gas. It's kind of like neon and stuff. There we go. There you go, Claire. What a... That is not really hard. Now you're gonna fall down here. And fall down here. And finish. One level in chapter 2. The same level. With Thomas.
Wow. Deja vu. The world was repeating. And this time Thomas was here. Claire felt something had gone wrong. There was a disturbance in the Force. Something had altered the Matrix. The world was reacting to their progress. It was amassing its forces. It was plotting against them. Claire finally had a nemesis.
Claire. I'm really bad at this jump. Claire! Aw, Claire! Claire, I probably could use Thomas to help you, but hey, I'm too lazy to. Nope. Okay, let's use... Can we get Thomas up here somehow? Nope, I don't think we can get Thomas up here. There! Okay, let's jump past Thomas. I will pronounce his name as Thomas, not Thomas. 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 I don't know. I think I'm pronouncing his name as Thomas. Thomas was alone. That would be a completely different story, but hey. They're gonna have Thomas first, because if we don't, he'll die if he tries to jump on the spikes, so.